Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders seeing the next edition. What's current? Yes, I broadcast earlier and I was talking about Beyonce and Jelly Roll. Well, I'm back to talking about Beyonce because I just found an interview with her, and it's not about music primarily, it's all about entrepreneurship. It's actually entitled The Business of Being Beyonce Knowles-Carter. So she has a whiskey coming up, and she's taking out the E in whiskey. She does her thing. She's like, I don't want the E in whiskey. You know, no E in whiskey. Um, Let me see. I don't think there's a name for it yet. I'm looking for it now. But she goes into it. She talks about Uncle Nearest. If you're not familiar with Uncle Nearest, that was a slave of um, Jack Daniel, and his name was Nathan Nearest Green. I bought some Uncle Nearest whiskey from my father for his birthday, for Father's Day. Excuse me, for Father's Day, and it's high quality whiskey made from a black man from the 19th century. So she is going into a field where there's not a lot of people. Here's the name for it. Sir Davis. That's the name of the whiskey. Sir Davis. She's trying to, she's playing on different things, just like her Cowboy Carter album wasn't Cowgirl Carter. She's playing on the fact that cowboys were black, and she's relaying some things that I already knew. But I'm glad she put it in an article in GQ, and I didn't mean to rhyme right there, but I did. She was saying how cowboys, the term cowboy actually comes from slaves that didn't get proper respect or that they deserved to be called sir or mister. They were called boy. So they say, get those cowboys. That's how the master would talk to the slaves to rustle up the horses and the different cattle that would be grazing on the farm. So I think that with Beyonce going into business, strictly business again, because she had another business, didn't do so well. Her Darion clothing line, it folded, didn't do well. But look, she has enough, probably bigger cojones than some men, because she said, you know what, I'm not gonna get defeated again. I'm gonna make my own whiskey. It's gonna be the best product ever, and I'm gonna have artistry. I'm gonna have my own career still. I'm gonna come out with country albums if I want to, or classical. She could learn, classical music or something like that. That may be a stretch because it takes decades to, really perform, perfect the art of classical music. But I wouldn't fault her for trying. I really wouldn't fault her for trying if she had somebody to come in and say, look, I'm gonna put down these chords, down these notes, and you just harmonize over them or something like that. I bet the playlist will go to #1 on Spotify, Apple, Tidal. It'll be playing on Pandora. It'll be on every streaming platform you can think of. So yeah, I really respect Beyonce for that. Like I said, I've been annoyed by her songs. I like 4 of her songs mainly. But yeah, so this is all coming from the article. This says this. Okay, here we go. For example, it felt equal parts momentous and inevitable when in late July, Vice President Kamala Harris, I'm not doing it on purpose, Kamala Harris featured Freedom as the soundtrack to her first presidential campaign ad. Beyonce's voice and lyrics seem to announce a new political moment. That also features Kendrick Lamar. Now there's Sir Davis. Beyonce Knowles-Carter is getting into the whiskey trade as a founder and the most Beyonce of fashions, challenging notions of masculinity and flipping them. Our biggest female entertainer, presenting the manliness of all spirits while honoring those in her lineage who came before. Sir Davis, created in partnership with Moet Hennessy. So Arnault is going to get even more billions from Beyonce. It looks like. Is named after her great-grandfather, Davis Hogue, and features the deliberate choice of branding it whiskey with no E, like I said, like they do in Japan. In Japan, it's pronounced sake. Everybody says sake. Sake. It's not sake, it's sake. Sake is the proper pronunciation. So that's what she's focused on right now. It says, like everything she does, it's ancestral, it is formidable, it has been concocted to perfection, and as a black woman in a space perceived for old white men, it's striking. Yes, it is. I have to give her credit for that. She's a black woman, a woman of color, a woman in the hip-hop, R&B era, or, kind of genres, doing something that old white men do. I mean, even her husband has Douce and let me see, what is Douce? I don't even remember what is Douce whiskey. I don't think it's whiskey. Douce is something else. If I do say so myself. Okay, I'm looking for it right now. What kind of whiskey is? I mean, what kind of drink? It's cognac. So Jay has the cognac, and Beyonce has the whiskey. Hold on, give me a second. Let me put this in here. I'm gonna put this in here and just give me a moment. Just give me one moment. I'm trying to put this in. Okay. Had to put that in just in case y'all feeling froggy. Y'all know where to go. Go to the poll, paypal.me. Go to the polls. paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. So if you feel like that. But I also have Cash App. They won't let me fit in Cash App. But the Cash App is $SKYLERSAUNDERS1. Venmo is at SKYLERIZED at Scholarized. All right, so Jay-Z's got Douce, and that's cognac. And I would say that's pretty much up there too. And so they're pretty much good for the alcohol. They're like Jay-Z's Jesus and and Beyonce is who's the goddess of drinks? Goddess of there's according to Puranas, the Hindu goddess of wine and winning ways, who would use wine to seduce people, is Varuni. So Beyonce is Varuni, and Jay-Z is Jesus. He turned water into wine, or to cognac. He's Bacchus or Dionysus. There's Siduri. There's Osiris. That's the man. That's Bacchus. That's the man. Dionysus, the Greek god of wine. Renin Utet is Beyonce. It says an Egyptian goddess of wine and snakes who was important to grape growers. People were sacrificed to her during harvest, hoping for fertility and growth. Okay, so let's be real about this. There's people that actually sacrifice for these people People sacrifice for the goddess Nike. Now it's a brand name for running sneakers and basketball shoes. and fitness gear. It's the truth. It's reality. That's humanity. But back to Beyonce. Back to her beautiful story. She has a figure on here. I'm gonna describe in best detail as I can. She's got blonde hair. She's got the smoky eyeshadow. She's got a big cigar hanging out of her mouth. Sometimes it's just a cigar. Sometimes it's just a cigar. Like we have to tell the great late great Dr. Freud. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. And she's got an hourglass figure. She's got ample bosom, a very slim figure in the waist, and a bodacious round figure with it looks like like an olive green dress against a black platform, and these saloon doors. It looks like these black saloon doors with a little puff of smoke up in the air. She's wearing a garnet ring and with long nails. And she has jewelry on her. That's just one of the pictures. Another picture that's on the cover is her as a billboard, but it looks like she's actual in real life, like, and she's holding a glass of, you guessed it, whiskey, and she's got these people look like cowboys, and then one of herself as a cowgirl staring up at her. And it just says, the business of being Beyoncé Knowles-Carter. Then another one has kind of like a double take of her with a very seductive black, almost revealing blouse, or I guess it's a shirt, a skirt, and she's sitting on a stool. She's got her head back and her eyes closed. One's got her mouth open, one's got her mouth closed, and with her teeth showing. It looks like pure ecstasy. That's what it looks like to me. Not the drug, but exhilaration. Another one has her laying down with jade earrings and looks like rings by De Beers, gloves that go up to her mid arm. Very suggestive, look on her face, and the way she's controlling her body. Very sexy, very feminine. I like it. Good for her. Again, she's got the blonde hair. She's got the platinum blonde hair. She's got the glass of whiskey in her hand. In one photo, and another photo, it's got her just with one hand on her thigh, or on her, maybe on her hip. I would say maybe, kind of like on her hip and her thigh, called a thip, or a high, and she's got her hand behind her head on one. She's got her hand on her tasseling her hair. She's got a decorous pendant on with a link chain, like a stones in the chain that link around her neck. Let's see another picture. One is of her as a like she's in a western. She's got short hair now. Another wig. She's smoking on a cigar again. She's got her leg over her other leg. She's got her legs crossed, wearing all black. Everything is black. In the background is like a very stark, desert scape. Doesn't look like anyone's there. It's just complete, looks like, parts of Nevada or Arizona or something like that, or Texas. It's just completely, no person's land, no one's claimed. And she's got a guy that's holding up a light, and there's I think it's, a camera or something like that. It's very classy. It's very classic. Then she's got another one with her hair hanging all the way down to the ground. She's sitting on a chair backward with her leg crossed, and she's got the whiskey in her hand again. She's definitely pushing this whiskey. It's very subtle though. It's not like it's for me. It's not the first thing I saw. It's not I saw her face and her body, and then I saw her hair. Then I saw the whiskey in her hand. So that's just another one. Let me see any other. And this one reminded me. The first thing that came to my mind was Marilyn Monroe. This is like, I mean, she's just gorgeous. Beyonce is gorgeous. She has the hair that is platinum blonde, and she has the cigar hanging out her mouth again. No smoke this time. She's got earrings in her ears. You can see the freckles on her neck. It's a high definition photograph, as the other ones were as well, I would imagine. But you can see, her eyes are pretty light, even with the camera. And it's black. It's black and white. It's not in color. So that's just something to talk about. And also, I think this is the final one. She's between the doors again, and she's holding on to them, and it's like the first picture, but without the cigar. And that's all for the pictures. Okay, so, but the striking thing about the article itself, I just wanted to give you a framework, a mind picture of what she looks like in the various photos. But they go into a lot of different ideals. They talk about how San Jorge or San Jorge, I think, if you know, and the song "Daughter" is by Violin Concerto in D major, Opus 3, number 1, 2, Adagio, and it was created in the 18th century. I'm just paraphrasing. It's a testament to Chevalier's vision. Chevalier was a black man that created classical tunes. I guess is the proper way to say it. Classical tunes. And she went to she is a genius. Beyonce, for all intents and purposes, she's married to a genius. She's a genius. What is the losing? They don't lose. They don't lose. Whoa, hold on. What we got here? Hold on, what we got here? B, hats inside are frowned upon, young men. Little Nicky looking at. Thanks for the hate. What? Well, it's my show in my room in a house that I pay utilities for, so I can do whatever the hell I want. That's the difference. Now you can watch and learn how to do whatever you want, and you can contribute by donating. So you hate it already, so now it's time for you to donate. So paypal.me/Scholar Saunders. Now you can donate. Boop. Oh, nice love. Yeah, you like Diddy. Hey, what's up, Scott? What's going on, L Boogie? What's good, man? What's popping? I'm talking about Beyonce. She's trying to get into the liquor business. She's trying to get her own whiskey up. She's trying to get her weight up. What do you got to say about that? Nail baby oil, all Vicks. Vicks vapor rub. Yeah, get it on your chest. Get it on your chest. No, but yeah, so I just read this article. It's a great article. It's in GQ. It's going to be in the October edition of the magazine. And it's really great. It goes into all her music. It goes into all the whiskey business. It's a wonderful thing. He was let me clear it up. It's a Nathan Nearest Green was a former slave who became Jack Daniel's master distiller. I think that's key to say. See you later, you sick bastard. Take care. Salute. She has this to say. This is a question posed to her. What was your experience? What has your experience been like as a black woman in black and business spaces that some might have assumed you couldn't thrive in. There's a huge contrast between the business journeys of men and women. Men often have the luxury of being perceived as the strategists, the brains behind their ventures. They're given the space to focus on the product, the team, the business plan. Women, on the other hand, especially those in the limelight, are frequently pigeonholed into being the face of the brand or the marketing tool. It's important to me to continue to take the same approach I have taken with my music and apply my learnings to my businesses. She didn't say anything about Jay, really. Okay, who's talking? Okay, L Boogie. Sound like she gonna get all that money, get that money, exactly. But you can make more money and helping him, the people, out by doing better. Despise liquor. Well, I'm for liquor. I don't drink liquor, but I'm for people drinking liquor. I'm for it being legal. I'm for it being proper to profit from. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. You may have. I think you're Muslim. I think you're Muslim. Is that right, El Boogie? Is that why you're saying that? But yeah, she hardly even. I don't think even Jay is mentioned. Jay-Z is not even mentioned in this whole entire article at all. No Sean Carter. The only thing Carter is in the title, being the business of being Beyoncé Knowles-Carter. Oh no, you're not a Muslim. Okay, so you're just against liquor. Not even. He says not even. So yeah, this is a very. I think that's probably better because they didn't have to have his name in here, like saying, "Well, your husband has Douce cognac. Or what are you going to compete with him in the liquor space?" They didn't have any questions like that. They focused mainly, directly on her accomplishments and her ability to show her how she wants to have her business conducted. Budgie Jay-Z is behind all this in the scene. Maybe, but we need facts. I don't have the facts to back that. I don't know how to properly say that. If I had the facts to say that, then I would say it. But I don't think Jay-Z does anyway. He may. I mean, I honestly don't have the facts to confirm that. I can neither confirm nor deny it. Yeah, so I would say either way, I think this is a great turning point in her life because she said, like I said, she could have just said, you know what, the Darion thing didn't pan out too well like I thought it should, and I've been doing pretty well with this music thing. Every time I drop, it's going to #1. So she would say I'm that bitch. That's what she would say. I really am. I have proven it and I've shown it dozens of times before in the past. I'm on my 8th studio album in what? 20, almost maybe 18 years, something like that. 16 years, something like that. I think. Maybe 14 years. Can't. Could be. I don't know. Something like that. I can make sure. I'm looking for it right now. Her first album was 2006. Okay, so 18 years. 18 years. 18 years. But, no, that was, Dancing in Love. So it's been 21 years. 21 years since her first release, Dangerously in Love. That was her first album. All right, so she will rule. She will rule. I think she'll rule with this. I really think she'll do well with this. This should be her calling card now. I think she'll just be selling liquor. Getting these little beehive chicks, drunk off that whiskey. she's she's gonna get these 21 old and older beehive people, all, gonna be drawn. She got a crazy fan, so she's gonna make a lot of money. Yeah, I agree with you, El Boogie. The beehive is gonna profit. They be like, did you get Beyonce's liquor? Did you bring the Sir Davis? Did you get the Sir? They're gonna be like, did you get the Sir? Sir? Did you get the Sir Davis? Did you get that? They're gonna be all over it. It's gonna be big. I think it's gonna be big. This is gonna be big. It just shows that she's a perfectionist. She said my first business didn't do all that well, and I don't think they didn't even talk about that. They didn't even talk about Darion. They talk about her grandfather, I think, or hold on, her grandmother Agnes Darion. Her that was her grandmother. That was what the House of Darion was named after, but it didn't do well. And then I think, or it just sold. I think she just sold it, kind of like how Rockaware was sold. Remember that? Anybody remember Rockaware? Anybody remember what Rockaware? Am I too old for you to say Rockaware? Do you not go to Burlington Coat Factory or Marshalls or Ross? Because that's where you will find Rockaware most likely. I mean, it's in the bottom basement kind of type. Okay, got paid to do a show at least $30 to $40 million per show. Yeah, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, El Boogie. I don't know what you're saying. Explain a little bit further, please. So this is a really well thought out piece, and she has a lot of room and a lot of paragraphs that she goes over throughout the entire work. This is a good interview. I think that, with her making Cowboy Carter, that's just kind of she's a mastermind, because she had that in her head that, I'm gonna do whiskey one day. I'm gonna do whiskey, but first I gotta have a cowboy and make sure it's called Cowboy Carter album and a countrified way of doing it. That's what I gotta do. That's how I gotta do it. And she probably had all this planned way ahead. Way ahead. All this planned way ahead. Cause she is calculating. She knows how to calculate. She knows how to do business and music and outside of the music business. She talks about how, she's having, trouble, but not trouble. I shouldn't say trouble. I usually use the wrong word sometimes. But she has she has another brand called Sacred. It's pronounced C-E with the accent mark, C-R-E-D, the hair care brand. And I would imagine that's doing well. Has to be. It's still in business. This is what she says. Quote, when I wanted my hair care brand, Sacred, I wanted it to be recognized for what it does for real people and their hair. When it launched, I made a conscious decision not to appear in the ads. The brand's first impression needed to stand on its own merit, not be swayed by my influence. I've been using these products for years, so I know firsthand how magical they are. You gotta give it to her. Yes, Rockaware, yeah. Beyonce, yeah. Beyonce was getting paid $30 to $40 million a show last year. Her fan base is huge. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are happy like with like Moneybag Yo. Moneybag Yo gets $150,000 a show. Now that's good money. That's good money, but that's not Beyonce money. Beyonce money's 30, like you said, $30 to $40 million a show. That just let you know it's a different world you stepping into. It's a different world you're talking about. So Beyonce is on some other level. She's on another planet. Like it's crazy too because I was just thinking about top singers of all time, and it's hard because it's like if you say top rappers of all time, it's a lot easier because it's within only 50 years, quote unquote. They say 50 years because they didn't count for bebop in the 30s and 40s, which had a lot of influences that were close to hip hop. But anyway, if you just counted the 50-year frame, the 50-year time frame, you will see that you have to have Jay at least at number 1 or 2, if not number 1. That's what they called it for many magazines last year and during the 50th anniversary. Jay-Z came out number 1. Beyonce can't come out number 1. She'll be like number 28 or something crazy because there's so many more singers over so many more time. If you want to go back to the blues, you got to go back to Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith and everything like that. Jay-Z gave Beyonce the blueprint how to make money, yes, and it's the master of mind behind everything. I'm gonna have to agree with you, sir. I have to agree with you. But this is the caveat, this is the warning. Beyonce knows how to do it herself. She might hear Jay and say something. She'll be like, yeah, okay, well, that's great. And then she can move on and just be in her own space and maybe even disregard what he said. He might have been in her ear and said, I don't know if you want to do whiskey. I don't know. And she was just like, I'm doing whiskey. Cause like I said, he's got the cognac and she's gonna have whiskey and they're gonna be like a few inches from each other on the on the shelf. And if you want to just get one thing to get drunk off of or get toasty, you're going to say, do say so myself, or Sir Davis. You're going to have to make that decision. You get them both at the same time, but like I said, if you're down to just a few dollars and you just want to, pick one, actually you probably aren't down to a few dollars because they're pretty expensive. Douce's, what? How much is Douce? Douce is Douce ranges from I see $17.99 to $199.99. So depending on where you purchase it, dude, nigga, I see a 1969 anniversary limited edition for $19,999. Let's not get this messed up. Let's not get this crazy, okay? Let's not do this. It's not worth it. So is she gonna have a $20,000 bottle of the special brand? I mean, this isn't you're running in the mill. This is a 1969 anniversary limited edition. So is she gonna have that? Maybe, maybe not. But like I said, like you said, El Boogie, her fan base is such that it will suffice that she would be able to acquire the needed amount of dollars, to be able to satisfy her bank account because they will be padding it. They will be definitely, sustaining her through her music and her whiskey. She's gonna be on stage with the whiskey most likely. Beyonce is the top entertainer singer of all time, making money as a female R&B artist. Well, let's slow that down. Taylor Swift is the top earner for just music, just flat out music. Rihanna, Robin Fenty is probably up there too, but just pure music is Taylor Swift. I don't even know if she has any brands or anything of her own. I think she endorses brands, but I don't think she has anything in her name that's otherwise called her music. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Everything, she gets merchandise money. She gets the tour money. She gets the streaming money. She's got a lot of, different avenues for her to get out of the dollar. So that's just what it is. But I appreciate you, El Boogie. Good to go. Good to see you again, man. I'm glad to see you. Stay in here as long as you want. You're good money. Even if you don't give money. I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. So she launched the hair care line. She's got the whiskey on tap. Here's a question. Here's a good question that was brought up. Your reputation as a perfectionist precedes you. We see and hear it in the finished version of everything you release. And you lean into the narrative in documentaries like Homecoming and Renaissance. But is there a point where that reputation is a burden or even a prison? Do you ever feel personally overwhelmed by the weight of the expectations set by the highs of your previous work? She says, and I quote, "I create my own pace on things that I hope I will touch other people. I hope my work encourages people to look within themselves and come to terms with their own creativity, strength, and resilience. I focus on storytelling, growth, and quality. I'm not focused on perfectionism. I focus on evolution, innovation, and shifting perception. Working on the music for Cowboy Carter and launching this exciting new project feel nothing like prison nor burden." And she's right. That's my little aside. "In fact, I only work on what liberates me. It is fame that can at times feel like prison. So when you don't see me on red carpets and when I disappear until I have art to share, that's why." And that's what she does. When's the last time you heard about Beyonce? Cowboy Carter, and that was what I talked about earlier. How she got snubbed at the CMAs and the People's Choice Country Awards. Pop music, okay. Hell no, Google. Can't tell me to Google it. You Google it and you come back to me. So, this is at a point where kids are in school now. Oh my God, I'm so old. I'm 36 years old, and she's got her kids are in school now. I remember when they were talking about she was just getting pregnant, and Blue is 12. I'm like, God, like what? I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. Here's another interesting thing. You must have. Here's the question. You must have been approached thousands of times over the years about getting into various businesses. What does a business idea or ambition need to contain in order for you to get excited about it? I get excited about love, legacy, and longevity. Do I love what I'm trying to create for the love of it? I'm discovering the legacy is the common denominator in all businesses that I have done. What are the new things you've learned about yourself as you lean harder and more assuredly into this entrepreneurial lane? She says, and I quote, "I'm drawn to authenticity. I don't waste my time on something unless I'm deeply passionate about it. If I don't wake up thinking about it and I'm not going to sleep dreaming about it, it's not for me." I can relate. "My perception of what success looks like for me is very different than most. When I commit, I'm 100% in. I prefer to focus quietly, uninterrupted by things that are a distraction to the authenticity. I believe everything can always be better. My job is to give until it is the best it can possibly be." See, that's why she's going back and forth. Because she just said, "I'm not a perfectionist," but that sounds like a very perfectionist statement. So, okay, but she goes on to say, "I'm inspired by things that fill a void, solve a problem, or don't already exist. Otherwise, I'm not drawn to the opportunity. I try to challenge myself and the people around me to think differently. I think a big part of success is your outlook on life. Every disappointment is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to pivot. I trust God even when it feels like I can barely see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know the earth is going to open up for me. Some wise words. I'm not going to say, this is from her, like they doctored it. Like, but she even in I've seen in video, she has thought out, very speculative, very introspective answers that she explains her ideas very well. I have to give her that much credit. After you decided to create the brand, you discovered that a great grandfather of yours, Davis Hogue, had been a moonshine whiskey maker himself. Renaissance was also dedicated to and partly inspired by a family member. What has compelled you to seemingly start looking so hard at your roots? And what else have you discovered? She says this in quote. What is ironic and faithful is that I know I wanted to create a whiskey brand before I knew the story of my great grandfather. See, she knew. I'm breaking it up, but she knew ahead of time that she wanted to do a whiskey brand. She knew, like, it didn't. This isn't just like wake up in the morning, I'm gonna do whiskey. Like she said, one day I'm gonna plan it out, I'm gonna sketch it out, I'm gonna have it all drawn up, I'm gonna do whiskey, and that's gonna be my ticket. When I'm done with this music stuff, because she's probably gonna be hanging it up when she's 50. I don't think she's gonna be like Jennifer Lopez, who can't sing, but that's okay too. Correction: the highest paid singer all time for a magazine in 2024 is Jay-Z. Yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna deny you that. That's the highest paid musician in the world is Jay-Z. The second highest is Paul McCartney, and the third is Taylor Swift. I think, could be wrong. Could be Robin Fenty, aka Rihanna. American rapper Jay-Z is the wealthiest music artist in the world, with Forbes estimating him at $2.5 billion in 2024. Yep, facts. Thank you for bringing it to me, because I'm not bringing it to you. If you state something, you bring it to me. I'm not going to look it up. It's my show. You get your show, then I'll do that for your show. But I appreciate you. Thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate you. It took years of here's a quote. It took years of hard work to feel confident enough to do that. Years of testing, and perfecting. There we go, perfection again. What eventually became the final Sir Davis recipe. My dreams, my passions, my skills, my fears, my traumas, my patterns are all connected to my ancestors. They are part of me and I am them. And I am honored to share the legacy of my family. So it's like it's a duality. This whole conversation is a duality. It's showing her ideas in the music realm and the strictly business realm. It's going back and forth. I think the interviewer does a great job. Let me see if I can get the name. Who wrote this piece? Fraser Tharp. Fraser Tharp is an editor at GQ, specializing in dictating entertainment coverage, as well as contributing profiles on the likes of Jared Carmichael, Lakeith Stanfield, and Bobby Shmurda, and perhaps most infamously, John Mulaney. Fraser also specializes in on-camera interviews and appearances, moderating panels, and previously hosted the podcast Watch Less. He will likely continue pitching Jay-Z for GQ's Man of the Year as long as he's employed here. That was good. So, yeah, so... Here's a question. Beyonce. Oh, GQ. What are you, at this moment, what are you doing today? Beyonce, today I'm on the East Coast while I enjoy a little bit of summer sunshine. Most days I try to wake up around 6 a.m., squeezing in an hour or two of work before the little ones are up. Parenting while working, I move forward, embracing the beauty and the chaos of it all. Our home is alive with cousins and friends, spontaneous talent shows, and the clatter of dominoes. I've been trying to focus on my health, taking my supplements, and eating very clean. I've given up meat, except for turkey, this summer. I'm trying to muster the strength to work out, but I just can't do it today. Maybe tomorrow. Ha! Here we go. Here's something interesting. This spring, we released a new album, and I have a lot of questions about that and how it connects to your past work. But first, I want to start with the new thing, whiskey. I guess I'm wondering, why liquor? Here you go. Here's the question. I know I'm going back and forth. I'm going before and previous and later. I'll never forget the first day I had whiskey. It spoke to me nice. I remember thinking, why have I never had this before? It was strong and warm, just the right amount of challenge. I love the process, the ritual of it. Whiskey isn't something you just shoot down. It's a commitment. You gotta have patience. I like that. Then I got into vintage Japanese whiskey and started doing tastings. It opened up a whole new world. I love everything about whiskey. The color, the smell, the way it dances in the glass. I love the stories that come with it. Every bottle has a history. I also like introducing whiskey to people who don't know they love it yet. I think a lot more women would love it if they tasted it and they were really spoken to by the whiskey world. Okay, women will love it. Women are gonna love it. And the gay guys that are in the beehive, they're gonna love it too. They're gonna love it. Oh, who is this? Ellie? Oh, hell no. What's up, Ellie? How are you, Ellie? What's going on in your world? What got you? What's got you peeved? What's got you mad? Tell them why you mad. Tell them why you mad. But yeah, she said I can see women drinking whiskey because of Beyonce. Like, oh well, Beyonce drinks it. I can drink it too. But you don't really hit shots of whiskey. I mean, you can do whiskey shots, but you want to savor the whiskey. You want to. It's kind of like the wine of hard liquors. Cognac's like that too. And the weird thing is, they don't mention anything about Jay-Z. Like I said, they don't say anything about cognac. They don't talk about Douce. None of that. They don't talk about any of that. So this is very interesting. This is quite interesting. Was that like pre-planned? Did she say no questions about Jay, no questions about Douce? It's all about me. It's all about whiskey. I'm not talking about cognac. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that. All on me. I don't know if she said that. That's alleged. I don't know if she said that or not, but I can imagine her saying it. So I think she her commitment is good. She says whiskey isn't just for old men in smoky bars. It's for anyone who appreciates depth, complexity, and a bit of mystery. The entire aging process is a labor of love, with attention put into every step, from the grains malting to the handcrafted barrels, and I appreciate all of it. Making whiskey is an art form. That's what I love and respect about it. As the great Willie Nelson once said, sometimes you don't know what you love until somebody puts you on some real good shit. So to all the whiskey lovers out there, you're welcome. That's real. That's real talk. I mean, it's not like she says, I'm not going to be handling anything. If they want to, whatever they want to do with those barrels, whatever they want to do with, how they make it. No, she wants to be really hands-on. She wants to be, probably get into the cellars and the different, the barrels and the testing and the getting the flavor of it and washing around your mouth and washing around the glass and all that, So, I mean, she says later on, she said, I was so hyped to see a song like Texas Hold'em gain worldwide acceptance. Even more exciting was how it helped reinvigorate the country genre across music, fashion, art, and culture, and introduced the world to so much great talents like Shabuzi, Tanner Adele, Willie Jones, Brittany Spencer, Tierra Kennedy, and Raina Roberts, end quote. And I have not heard of anybody but Shabuzi. That's just my fault. I'm just old and stupid. I have no idea who any of these people are, except Shabuzi. That's all I know. So I mean, it's very special. I think it's a very special situation she's put herself in to now. Um, it's gonna be a great way of expressing herself through the whiskey, which I think it's weird though. It's funny because it's like it's whiskey, you know, like you and then people like this is what I love about I'm a former Christian. I'm an atheist. So it's just strange to me because I look at atheists or theists or people that believers, people with faith, and I'm just like, that's funny, you know. Oh well, I can drink wine. Why can't I drink a little liquor too? You know, they try to use as many excuses and try to weasel out of every situation they possibly can. It's cute. I love it. I love when Christians do that. It's funny. Oh yeah, I can you know. Had a little sip of that Jesus juice. Now I can get some Douce. I can get some Uncle Nearest. I can get some Beyonce's liquor. Sir Davis. I think it is still extraordinary to me though, to even consider her on so many different platforms. She's got like where did there like, same thing happened with Ye. I have 0 people watching right now. 4 likes. 4 likes. 0 people. But it was a party in here on Saturday. Party, it was crazy. Went up to 11, 12. I was crazy. But anyway, but yeah, Ye doesn't talk anything about Pastel anymore. He says nothing. He put it in his music. Like it was supposed to come out. It didn't even I don't think it even launched. Especially in my Pastel and my Babe shit. Let me see. And there's another line said. I can't remember the other line, but he had lines about Pastel in his raps. And then Beyonce, shake your derriere in your house of Darion. Shake your derriere in your house of Darion. And where the hell is Darion? House of Darion? What the hell happened to it? Did it get sold off? What happened? Let me see. Let me see if I can see. House of Darion. Was a ready-to-wear fashion line introduced by singer and actress Beyonce and her mother and then stylist Tina Knowles. In 2012, House of Darion reduced staff and discontinued its junior line, Darion. Okay. The rest of the line was unofficially discontinued in the following years. So it's completely gone. It's no longer around. So I'm just saying, I really hope that her Sir Davis performs a whole lot better because she's got issues. There was one thing happened, advertising controversy. In May 2008, the fashion line, this is from Wikipedia, the line released advertisements for its girls line called the Darion Girls Collection. The fashion line infuriated critics when the advertisement displayed 7-year-old girls in full makeup and high heels. A poll online on the Washington Post website stated that 62% of the readers believed the advertisements over sexualized young girls. Ooh, got to step far away from that. You don't want anything on that level. So that I mean, I'm just. It could be a great thing for her. It could be a great thing. It could be a disaster. I hope it's the former. I really do, because she is. You know, I can't deny. Like I said, most of her songs irritate the hell out of me. But she was part of one of the best songs ever. "Cater to You" with Destiny's Child. Um, uh, "Love on Top." Um, my top four. I'm gonna try to find five, but my top four: "Love on Top," "Get Me Bodied," "Ego," and "Halo." Those are my four favorite Beyonce songs. They give you all kind of vibes. They have different recognition, different times. In sad times and happy times. They have different meanings and different functions. So that's what's so amazing. That's what's so beautiful. That's what's so amazing, really. That's what's so wonderful. So I think that Beyonce will land with her feet. Land on her feet. You know, I think this whiskey line is it's a risk. It's definitely a risk, but it could prove to be very profitable for her. Because I mean, name any R&B singer with a whiskey line. How many rappers have whiskey lines? They got Cognac. Yeah, that's her husband. They got what's it called? Champagne. They got wines. They got quote unquote scissor, which isn't really scissor. So the liquor business is booming. I mean, it's a weird thing, because it's like you can't do milk. You can't do a specific a milk made from celery. That'd be disgusting, I think. But you know what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like some way, wheat milk. I don't know. Rice milk. There's already rice milk. I think there's wheat milk too. But why don't you come out with wheat milk? Is wheat milk a thing? It needs to be fermented by L. plantarum and barley milk fermented by S. thermophilus. The research was carried out in selected village population of Guatemala. The beverage product was prepared using riboflavin and some nutrients were distributed among the village population. This is all about wheat milk. Why didn't she use wheat milk? She's talking about she's trying to eat better. She's trying to, she's not gonna drink this every day. I don't think. I doubt she'll be drinking this every day. If she even drinks it at all. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't see that happening. So she can definitely, it just jars me, because they're always talking about, well, you have to produce for the indigent and the poor and the people that are addicts and alcoholics and stuff like that. Okay, so let me make a alcoholic brand, and that be attached to my name. Like, I'm just saying, it just sounds weird. They always are saying, they're helping out the poor and the indigent and the low class and the levels and the addicts and alcoholics. Then they turn around. Well, I got Duce. Well, I've got Sir Davis. That's my only slight criticism. But like I said, I'm not hating just to hate. I'm just saying, what is proper, what should be real. So we have to be on guard for that. We have to be on the lookout for that kind of thing. It's just something that has to happen. It's a reality. It's the truth. It's a reality. It's the truth. So I think we have to really notice what is true, what is real, what is going on in our lives. Not just Beyonce, you know, it's for our own lives, you know. Recognize the truth, recognize reality. And that's all I have to say. I think it was a great article by Mr. Hold on. Tharp. And great photography by Bryce Anderson as well. Great photography. Great work. So, in conclusion, I like to say, Beyonce, don't let this be Darion. Don't let this be the house of Darion. Thank you very much. I thank you very much for watching this show. Make sure you tell everybody you know about it, because I know there's gonna be a rebroadcast land. And just tell 2 people, say this goofy nigga with a black hat and a black shirt and a gold tie. He's real goofy, but he's got some good points. He's got some good perspectives. I like what he's saying. He's just a corny, goofy nigga, you know. So that's all you gotta do. If you don't want to, you know, send in money, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, tell a friend if you got them. Take care.